So the little 500's already sold. What was that up for a day? Actually sold to a family friend. They've come down and had a look at it. Daughter's first car, she's fallen in love with it. What we're going to do, we can do the front tyres that were on the advisory for her, included in the price of $2,995. Do the front tyres. There was a little bit of a wary squeaky noise from the back end there when we went out for a test drive early on. It seemed to get better over time, but I want to have a look at the drums, so I'm just going to get the drums off and have a look at those. I'm assuming he got the MOT done. I should just double checking myself there really. And he picked up, I'm pretty sure he picked up and got it MOT'd. I've made an assumption there, so I need to be a bit careful about that. But I definitely do think it was a bit too lenient on a few of the things there. So just going through all the braking on the 500, see if we can identify where that little bit of a grumble was coming from. The backing plate did look like it was touching the back of the disc here a little bit, so I've freed that up. But I've, you know, just cleaning the disc and the pads, put them all back in again. I'll do the same the other side and then check out the drums. Just go for it all, make sure it's all 100%, and then I'll go and test drive it again. But I suspect it might have just been that was causing it. But yeah, while I've got it on the ramp, I might as well go around and check everything off. I mean, obviously it's just gone for an MOT and it passed all the braking on that, but you know, that doesn't test it in the real world driving it. So sometimes you can get little things like that going on. So let's get it all checked out and see where we are with it. Hopefully something nice and simple as that solves it. So Malcolm over at Car Care has done his thing on the little grey i10. He's taken it in. I asked him to check it over. Don't do a new MOT, but do all the checks you would do for an MOT, which does mean I've incurred pretty much the same cost. But he said, actually, technically, all the tyres are legal. There's no illegal tyres there. He said he absolutely would have given an advisory on them, but he said that they aren't illegal, so they wouldn't be failed. He said the front discs are very bad, are very low, but you can't fail front discs unless they're fractured or missing, apparently. So again, technically, you wouldn't have to fail on discs. So, you know, in fairness to the MOT tester that did it, it's not an outrageous MOT. It definitely should have got an advisory for tyres, though, in our opinion. But Malcolm actually said, to be honest, once you've done the paintwork on it, he said everything else underneath is good. He said he's done all the suspension checks and all that kind of stuff and brake lines. He said once you've actually done the tyres and done the paintwork and done the front disc, he said actually you'll have a nice little car there, to the extent that I think he was even considering it for his daughter. So yeah, so not the flop we thought it was maybe. So I'm straight into more brakes with the little white i10. Accident damage one. Got to get these wheels off both sides, check the front discs and pads and see what's going on there, because that was the only real fail apart from the number plate. So we'll get on that and see what we need to swap out there. You can just see the edge of that pad crumbling away there. So I think definitely new pads. I think we may do discs and pads because they're a bit scored. It's going to be quicker just to strip this off, new discs and pads on the front, and then we know we're good to go, don't we? Yes, I think this may be a problem, sir, the fact that your pads have actually broken in half, separated off the back. It's bad, isn't it? Right, yeah, new discs and pads on the front for sure. New discs and pads on both sides, get the wheels back on, got the number plate there to go on, get that on, let's get her back in for an MOT, and then we can just tidy up all this body. We've got to machine polish everything. I haven't even machine polished where I did the painting the other day. Got to machine polish everything, do an oil and filter change on it, and then she should be set for a new owner. I think I'm asking $19.95 for this. 2011, 106,000 miles. Obviously it's on the register as a Cat S, but a reminder that was something ridiculously light. It was, oh, hold on, let me get the torch on the go for you. Just as a reminder. That edge there, that was tweaked back, that seam was tweaked back, and we replaced the lower arm as well, didn't we? With a new lower arm. It was bent a little bit, and then we had the four-wheel tracking done. Now it's got the MOT on it, so 1995 is probably a little bit cheap, to be honest, but I think it'd probably be 2.5, maybe 2.7, 2.5, 2.695 if it wasn't on the register. So I always take about 25-30% off. Right, taking the i10 round the block. No, noise is completely gone now, as you might expect with brakes that were that bad. Yeah, braking lovely. So can't quite squeeze getting it back in for an MOT today. So what we're going to do is I want to get the service done now. I've got enough oil left over. So I just needed to pick up the oil filter and the air filter. So we'll do an oil filter, air filter, oil change on it, and then try and squeeze it in for an MOT tomorrow morning. Once it's had the MOT, then we'll do the cleanup. She does need the motherboard clean up, and I still haven't buffed out the paint that I did the other day, where the blend marks on that. And then she should be ready to go. I only have like one. Well, I've only got one car for sale at the moment, haven't I? Yeah, I think I've only got the Mazda for sale at the moment because the 500 sold, isn't it? So I need to get this one ready quickly. I need to get the grey one ready quickly. I'm going to pull a late tomorrow night on the grey one. I haven't been to the gym in ages. I'm going to get to the gym tonight. So I'll pull a late tomorrow night and get onto the grey i10. Tomorrow's plan is do front discs and pads on it. Then do the body work. I won't be able to do the door because I'm waiting for that to arrive, because I'm just going to swap that out. And then... well, because it's got the MOT on it already, get the service done tomorrow as well, and then hopefully get that up for sale as quickly as possible. And we'll have to look in a minute and see if I've won any bids today, because I must have put 40 bids out last night, I reckon. So we'll see what's coming off the back of that. I've just got home and I'm having a quick look at the bids I placed today, and I thought prices were high enough already, but they have gone insane. 2014 1.2 Fiat Panda in beige. Sold for £3,900 before fees. You're talking probably £4,500 on that car before it gets to a forecourt. A 2014 Panda. I mean, you struggle to sell a 2012 for £3,000. That's insane. A 2009 Toyota Aygo. It wasn't even that clean. £2,500. You're going to be flipping nearly £3,000 by the time you're all done and dusted. And a 2009 Aygo is not worth over £3,000. Fiat 500. Now I know that market really well. I've just sold my lounge with 100k, with 97k on, didn't I? For £3,000. Just sold my lounge for £3,000 on a 2011. Sorry, mine was a 2011 lounge. This 2010. That's just sold for 3,600. 3,600 before fees. It's going to be £4,000 before fees. How much do they have to ask for that car on the forecourt? It has gone mental. Absolutely mental. I thought it was bad enough. A flipping 2007 Hyundai Getz just sold for £700. I mean, that at best, if you're lucky, you get 1,500 quid for it. I just don't get it at all. It's insane. £3,000 for a 2009 Fabia. Insane. Here you go. This tells you it's mad. A 2006 2.2 Brera is in auction, so I can guarantee you the chain on that thing is toast. That will be rattling like a bag of spanners. A Brera on a 2006, £2,500. If you're really lucky, £3,000. £1,700. By the time they paid fees, got it delivered to them, they're going to be over £2,000. And by the time they've done what that car's going to need, they're going to be into it for nearly £3,000, I'd have thought. Absolutely mad, guys. Never seen anything like it. I thought prices last week were bad. This week they're just utterly insane. So time to get cleaning up the little white i10 so we can get it finally up for sale. Now the MOT's fully done. Oh no, he's got to take it back in for retest, but I'm going to clean it quickly before he takes it in for retest, and then we'll get it up for sale. So let's get tidying up. First we're going to clean up the engine bay. Then while I'm cleaning that, I'll get the anti-tar down the sides of it, get the wheel fallout remover on the wheels, and then we've got to tackle that inside, which is pretty grimy, needs a good old clean. Right guys, the little i10 is all done, and she's come up really nicely actually. Nice bright white, Spent ages cleaning these wheels. It took ages to get this clean. Yes, I was using fallout remover, but it still hardly touched it, so I had to use a brass brush very softly on them to get it off. Obviously tidied up the corners of the bumpers. But yeah, she's come out looking really smart. The interior came out really good, really good. You saw me cleaning it with the wire, with the brush and a drill, if I've included that in this video. But there's not a mark in there. These seats are in fantastic condition. Inside's really, really nice. Sorry, the sun's getting low now, so it's shining up on the camera. But yeah, it's a cracking little car. Now, I did want to do this for 1995, didn't I? The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is, and I want your comments down below, because I'm going to put this video live hopefully before I get to the point of selling it. The only thing is, if we start her up, I think we've got a little bit of chain rattle. Sounds a little bit chainy to me. Now, I'm thinking 2195 and I put a new chain in it. But the question is, would people rather buy it at 1995 with a slightly rattly chain, or would they rather buy it for 2195 with a chain done? There isn't an option of doing it for 1995 with a chain, guys. You know, at the end of the day, this is a business, and I'm entirely happy selling either way. I'll either say to someone 1995, I think it's got a bit of a rattly chain, but it could go on for a good number of thousand miles yet without any problem at all, which it could carry on like that forever, these little Hyundai i10s. Or if you want that peace of mind, I put a new chain on it. At this price point, I really don't think it makes an awful lot of difference to this a cat car. You're not. It's hardly like you're going to go, oh, I'm going to lose £2,000 or £3,000 when I go to sell it on because it's an ex-cat car. I mean, this is when it's got an MOT on it and it's still driving well. This car's never going to be worth less than about £1,000, is it? Let's be honest. Yeah, comment down below. What would you do? Sell it 1995 and say you think it's got to be a rattly chain, or give the two options. The thing is, marketing-wise, obviously you really want to advertise it in 1995. But if you advertise it in 1995 and say it's got a bit of a chattel rain, you might chain rattle, might put people off. Better off advertising it at 2195, I think, and doing the chain on it. And then when they come to see it, if they want it cheaper, they can have it cheaper at 1995 and live with it. Or I'll get the chain done for a couple £100, which obviously, as most of you know, that's going to be probably half what it costs to get someone to put a chain on it for you if you're paying for someone to do it. I'm really pleased with how it's come out. I mean, look how clean this thing is now, guys. White's always a good colour for cars like this, but it's just like everything. Like the headlights are super clear, the wheels, alloys are in good nick, the paintwork, there's no dents down the side or scrapes down the side of the bodywork, and it really has come up super clean inside. So for me, it's worth, I mean, I know a private seller wouldn't put a chain on it, they'd just sell it as they would, wouldn't they, as they are. But for me, it's worth the effort, because once that's done, this thing will go and do another 100,000 miles without a shadow of a doubt, I'd have thought. Yeah, interested, comment down below. What would you do in this scenario? And as a buyer, where would you want to be with it? I mean, I know a lot of you guys are sensible out there and will probably take the mechanical advantage, but there's some people that are just on such budgets, they'd rather chance it, and they don't really value it. You know, to them, what's the chain, what difference does it make? I just want a car under £2,000. So yeah, but yeah, pleased to have saved that one. Good little buy, I think. Well, I say if I get my money out of it, it's a good little buy if I get that chain done.